Well, hello there. I'm on the floor in my bedroom. I figured, why not? Originally, I was going to make this video in my car today because I was going to have to take my kid to physical therapy. They're at their dad's house, and normally he and his wife are at work, and so I have to take them on Tuesdays. But today his wife is home, and so I now don't have to take them. But I still had plans to sit and answer some questions about the move, so instead I'm sitting here in my bedroom. The window's open, so there may be background noise and some breeze might come in. And I'm not wearing makeup because I was expecting to be wearing sunglasses, and so I didn't really care. And I still don't. You know, I've gotten a lot of questions that I've tried to answer in live streams or like in comments, or questions I'm not ready to answer yet or whatever. But there's been a lot of questions, and I had intended on doing a moving Q&A after the move was over. But it occurred to me I should probably just answer some of the questions now. So I went to Instagram and I dropped on the little question boxes and I got a bunch of them. I'll likely be going live on Instagram sometime this week if I haven't already. And if I have, then it'll be saved in the Instagram stories at Llama Letters. Not stories, the IGTV. I don't fucking know how any of it works. But I do know there's some people who don't do YouTube. And so they're going to want to know some of these same things. Because we as humans, man, we are a curious people. And the question I think I got the most on Instagram is something I've already talked about, but I'll just recap it here, is why are you moving? And that's a big question. And for those of you who don't know, we are moving from Napa, California to the suburbs of Denver, Colorado. That's a big move. A, I've lived in California my whole life. B, I have teenagers. And C, I share custody of them. So the reason we're moving is that Jesse is getting transferred to a new office for his job. We did check our options out in terms of staying here in California, getting a different job or whatever, and ultimately the move to Denver was the best decision. At the time that we found out about the Denver relocation, we already knew that my ex-husband was planning to relocate as well to a different state, and so that conversation of going from week on, week off custody to one house being the primary residence and one house being the less primary residence, that conversation had already been going on for a few months, so that also played into our decision. Go where the jobs are, right? I also had a lot of people asking me about what I am excited about our new house. I have said before that this house is pretty much our dream house. It doesn't have certain things I would want in my dream house, but the things it does have way more than compensate for that. And I will tell you flat out, the thing I am most excited about in this new house, more than having an office with the door that closes, more than having a nice backyard, more than all of those things, the kitchen. The kitchen is sick, dudes. I cannot wait to film in the kitchen. I cannot wait to vlog in the kitchen. I cannot wait to organize it and put videos of the organization. If you would like to have videos and vlogs when I move of organizing the new house, especially the new kitchen, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if like having organizing and decorating and all of those kinds of videos are something you'd like to see on this channel, because I know it's usually planners and shit like that, and this will be a completely different situation, but I'm really excited to decorate and organize this house, especially the kitchen. Did I mention the kitchen? So if you're interested in videos like that, please make sure to like this video and also leave your comments below, letting me know what you'd like to see and what you might not want to see, because it's not something that I have a lot of experience with. Believe you me. Siri keeps getting woken up on my phone. Are you going to buy new furniture, desks for your new office space? Yes. I already have my eye on a pretty massive L-shaped standing desk. I've talked about this a little bit in my office video when I talked about my skeleton office closet, my skeleton office setup. But I would like a standing desk because I have there's a lot of things I guess I have to explain if this is your first video, but I am in end-stage renal disease. I have polycystic kidney disease, and one thing that comes along with that is edema, swelling, retaining water, and I have noticed that when I am in one spot for too long, whether it's sitting or laying down or standing up, my body reacts by swelling water into certain spots. And so being able to rotate between sitting and standing when I'm working would be really helpful. And I also want an L-shaped desk so that I can have one section for computer and have a little bit of separation between the computer and the section where I paint, so I don't run the risk of spilling on my computer, but I want them to be the same desk. The desks I currently have are still going to get put into play in my office because I have a really big office, but For my new desk, I will be getting a new standing desk that's already on my budget for the new office. Also, I'm hoping to get a couch. If you watch Catherine Manning on her vlogs on YouTube, she got a pink, like, kind of futon situation for her house, and I really want one like that for my office so that I have somewhere to sit, somewhere to put my Steve pillow, Nicolas Cage pillow, somewhere we could potentially use as an extra guest bed. Our new house has a guest room, but we want to be able to host our whole family, and so being able to have somewhere to put people to sleep, even if it's uncomfortable because it's a fucking futon. That's important to me. But yes, I do have some new furniture kind of in my mind for the office, and I have it budgeted in my business budget. It's all, money is set aside for it. It's like, I'm ready. I got a lot of questions on what I'm looking forward to about living in Colorado. Snow. Those of you who have snow are like, yeah, fucking right, Cindy. But like I said, I grew up in California. I have been in the snow. I can count on one hand the number of times I've been to the snow, and only once has it been at Christmas time. So I'm excited about that. I'm not as scared of learning to drive in the snow because Jesse grew up on the East Coast on Long Island, and he knows how to drive in the snow, and so he's going to teach me and the kids. I don't have to teach the kids how to drive in the snow because I still have to learn. There's other things too, but that's a big one. I'm actually, and there were questions about, are you worried about the change in the weather? No, not really. Like, I know I've looked into Colorado weather enough to know that I should be comfortable in a lot of it, and I am somebody who would rather be cold than hot, so going somewhere that has colder weather part of the year is okay with me. I'm mostly worried about the altitude. We did not have as big of a problem with the altitude when we went there at the beginning of this month to house hunt, but I know that we did feel it, and I'm expecting to continue to feel it, so that is the thing I am probably the most worried about in terms of adapting to a different place. Now, somebody said the culture shock of moving to California to Colorado. I don't know, man. I have no idea what the culture shock is going to be. I've lived in California my whole life, but I've also not lived in the super, hippie parts of California, if you know what I mean. I've lived in the Central Valley, which is actually more red than you would expect when you think of California, but California has very much polar opposites when it comes to kind of culture. I do know that there's the feeling that we got when we were there, and the feeling that I've heard about from some people who know things is that it feels a lot like living in Bend, Oregon, and Bend, Oregon is one of my favorite places to be. So I am not worried, I don't think, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll be on camera in a few months and be like, holy shit, you guys. Did you get caught in a multiple offer situation on the sale or purchase? Yes, both. Yes. Buying and selling houses right now is no joke. This is not something we would be doing right now if it wasn't for work. Somebody else asked, are you more stressed out about the sale of your house or buying the new house? Well, at the time I'm sitting here filming this, as a matter of fact, I'll look at the calendar really quick. The day this video goes live, we should already be closed on this house. And we would be a few days away from closing on the new house. So hopefully when you see this, you'll already have checked in on Instagram and see me going woohoo! We're still going to be in this house for a little over a month after the fact to get to our new house, because that's what's happening with our new house. It's like a domino effect with them waiting for their new house, etc., etc. The biggest stress I have been under it depends on when you asked me. Trying to get this house ready for sale was heinously stressful. Trying to get an offer accepted on a house, heinously stressful. The biggest stress I've been under recently has been all of the things that could go wrong in between contract signing and closing on both houses. And we have passed most of those hurdles at this point, but I would say that if you had to add all of the stress up, probably the sale of this house was the more stressful situation, because if anything happened with the sale of this house, it could jeopardize the sale of the house we're going to move into, because they're happening so close together as opposed to selling one, waiting, and buying another. So yeah, did that answer your question? I don't know. I'm not sure if I could follow along. Now that you know your next house, are you itching for a declutter round 2? Well, sort of. We have a gap in between when we move out of this house and when we move into the next house. It's not a long gap, but it's just long enough that we had to change our method of moving a little bit, which means we had to even though we had already reduced our stuff by a lot, we're going to have to reduce it by more. The nice part is now that we know where we're moving, it's easy for us to make decisions about furniture that's not going to look good in the new house, so we might as well sell it and not move it. And that's what's going to happen with the couch that I love. I love our recliner couch. It's one of my favorite purchases, but it really won't work in our new house. So we're going to sell it before we move, and a bunch of other things too. So I'm itching to get it done. But the delicate situation is when we get rid of the things we need to get rid of in order to move, we're not going to have much left in this house. So it's a timing thing, trying to figure out when we're going to do it that will be safe enough so in case it doesn't sell, we had time to donate it, but not so far out that we're living with no dishes or furniture for months, or weeks or whatever. Somebody asked, how can we help you? Watch my videos. Watch my videos, share my videos. That's the best way you can help me, because that helps me make money, and that is helpful when you're moving. What is something, this is a good question, they're all good questions, but I like this one a lot. What is something you've packed but wish you hadn't yet, craft supplies or otherwise? What was it? There was something recently, there was a couple of things recently that I was like, God damn it, why did I pack that? Because there were things I hadn't quite realized I was going to need. One was graph paper. I had packed most of my paper up, and I actually really needed graph paper. So I had to go buy graph paper when I know I have graph paper in one of those boxes. So that's one of them. That might be it. Sounds silly, but I think that might be it. What are your kids looking forward to in Denver the most? They're excited about a bunch of things. They're excited about the new house. They're excited about exploring somewhere new. They're both excited to go to a new school after this pandemic and kind of, a fresh start kind of a situation. I think they're excited about the adventure of it. What am I excited about living in Denver besides my kitchen? Again, I think it's the adventure of it. I'm not really sure yet. Napa does not have a lot of good shopping. This sounds so silly, but it's true. Not just shopping for clothes or for fancy things, but food shopping and stuff. Napa is a little limited, and because we're moving somewhere where there's a lot more stuff, I'm excited about that. And my new house, my new kitchen, and just all of it. What was an unexpected hard thing? An unexpected hard thing. I guess I was unprepared for how stressful staging the house for photography and showings were going to be. I knew it was going to be stressful. I had no idea how much it would both physically and mentally wreck me. I actually made a video about that. I'll link it up above. I see you're looking for a dog. Any particular breed? We're not looking for one yet. We'll be looking once we move and once the cats get settled. We don't want to inflict a move upon them and a dog at the same time, because that would suck. But we are hoping to get some sort of a golden retriever situation. Any expectations versus reality that have truly blown your mind? Again, I'm going to come back to the new house. I cried talking to Jesse about it the other day. I never in a million years thought I would live in a house like that. It's not like it's a McMansion or anything. It's not, but it's just, there's things about it that, as somebody who grew up with a lot of food insecurity, as somebody who grew up with a lot of housing insecurity, and in poverty and with hoarders and all of those things, and I adore my parents and they were wonderful, but there were aspects of the way I grew up that were really hard and have always made me felt really insecure about a lot of things. There's a level of disbelief. I'm not going to believe this is going to actually be where I'm going to live until we actually get the keys and walk in the door. How are you handling this one's hidden right to the heart of things. How are you handling juggling life that is continuing, work and school, with the hurry up and wait of moving? Not very well. I am a longtime nail biter. I had quit biting for the most part since starting YouTube, because it's amazing how having your hands on camera makes you self-conscious about how they look. But I don't have nails left. It started when we were waiting to find out about our offer, that long weekend of back and forth. And then with the inspections, the appraisals, all the things happening, I don't have any nails left. I'm at the point where my thumbnail hurts because I've bit it down so far. I've taken up walking twice a day now to try and bring my anxiety down. I've painted more than I have in a long time to try and bring my anxiety down. My patience is fucking low. My stress levels are really high. I'm not eating well. My stomach is I already struggle with heartburn. I already struggle with upset stomach because of my kidneys and them both low kidney function, but also the size of my kidneys. I have PKD and they're very large, like footballs. They push on my stomach, but you add on top of that the stress, and I am somebody who very much feels stress in my stomach, and it has been really rough. So I have not been handling it well at all. I'm just trying to keep one foot in front of the other and having a lot of conversations with my husband because he's very good at centering me. I have a lot of conversations with my kids about things and talking to them. It's just, it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. And there's other people asking how I'm doing. Basically, that's the answer, right? Somebody else asked, should I move to Colorado? Like them. I don't know. Should you? One thing you tell someone about moving cross country you didn't think of until now. I don't really have an answer for that yet because I haven't done it. But I will say we originally thought we were going to make it in 2 days. Like it could be like a 9-hour drive each day, right? But we're taking off from a house that we're going to be handing keys over to, and we're going to have cats in the car, and we have finally decided to break it up over 3 days. Things are going to take longer than you expect. I'm assuming on this drive, that's the way it's been with everything else so far. So that's the piece of advice that we're trying to kind of live by at the moment. And that would be my suggestion. Have I ever had a big move like this before? No. The farthest I've ever moved in one move was when I moved from home to college, and that was a 2-hour move, and I was moving into a dorm. Are your kids staying or moving with you? They're moving with me, and I have a lot of questions about them, about the custody, about my ex, about everything else, and I'm not going to go into a lot of that right now. I'll talk about it, but it's not some... Basically, the kids will be with us as their primary residence, and they will be with their dad for summer vacation, for all of their breaks, and they can fly and see him whenever they want to. We're going to make sure that they have financial access to fly whenever they want to go see him. This is a big choice for them. And like I said earlier, we had already been having a discussion about that because he was expecting to relocate himself. But because it involves so much more than just me, I can't go into like lots of details about it right now. Once the move is done and everybody's settled in and stuff, I'm sure we'll have some conversation about it. But that's the basic logistics of it. And I want to respect everybody in this situation and not go too deeply into things like that, especially people who I am not. So I don't have their feelings on it. I don't know how they feel. My kids, my family have not been strangers to this channel. And so I understand the curiosity, and I know you guys really care about them. So I appreciate that. It'll come. Don't worry. Let's suffice it to say they were as involved in the decision. They actually got to make the final choices themselves, and they had time to make the decision and to work through it, even in therapy. So, yeah. The memory of California that's the most difficult to let go of. There's a lot of memories, but a lot of the people that were with the memories are either passed away or they don't live here anymore. I'm one of the last of my family still in California. My sister is still in California. My aunt and cousins are still in California, but almost everybody, and I have like maybe a couple other relatives, but most everybody has moved, mostly to Oregon and Washington, though there's some have moved elsewhere. So the quick access to at least one of my sisters is something I'm going to miss. Would you ever get another cat when you move? Yeah. I told Jess, now I'm like, I used to hate cats, and now I'm like, bring on the cats, but the dog comes first. Thing you're most excited to leave behind? Ooh. At the moment, gas prices. I had no idea gas was so much cheaper in Colorado. What planning tools have helped me? My bullet journal has been very helpful. My moving binder has been very helpful. And Notion has been very helpful. And yes, I will have a video about that coming out after the move when I have time to think it through. And what are the uber important things traveling with you versus in the moving truck? We actually talked about this last night, Jesse and I. So my computer's coming with me. My entire business is on my computer. You know, stuff that we're going to need in the hotel while we're there. And then Jesse is going to put together a kit of things that he's going to need both in the hotel and in the new house to assemble the furniture we're ordering before the truck. Because we're going to have probably about 4 or 5 days at least before the truck gets there. So knowing that he doesn't have to go buy the same things he already owns to like assemble furniture and stuff like that. So I would say of all the things we're bringing, he has this little hand drill. It's like a tiny little tool that you can use to assemble IKEA furniture. It's so amazing. I don't know what it's called though. If I can find it, I'll pop a picture of it here. The situation, it's awesome, and that'll definitely be in the car with us. Will your new home have a creative space office for? Yes, with a door. Fuck yeah. When can you start buying new furniture for the Denver home? So that's interesting. One of the things we've been looking at, knowing that there has been so much uncertainty with shipping during COVID, is that we want to know kind of when to order furniture so we don't have to wait forever for it when we finally get into the house. The biggest piece of furniture that we're going to order way ahead of time is our couch, because the lead time on the couch is like 8 weeks. So it'll still not be there in time when we move in, but that'll be the earliest piece we're going to order. My guess is, though, is we'll start ordering once we're in Denver. We're going to see if we can get into the house to make some measurements once we get to Denver. We'll probably start ordering furniture the week before we get keys so that it'll arrive when we get keys so that we'll have stuff showing up. It's going to be a delicate timing issue. But believe me, we've picked stuff out already. We have a running list. I'm going to be buying my first house and I'm terrified. How do I even learn about how to do it? Okay. The internet has a ton of great information. The thing that helped us out the most when we bought this house as a first-time home buyer was our realtor, our agent. And she was a recommendation from good friends of ours. And we loved her so much that not only did we recommend her to other good friends of ours who then got a house with her, but she is the one who helped us sell this house. A good agent will help you walk through the process, will explain everything for you, will make sure that you feel solid on all the things, will help you locate other services like photographers, like inspectors. You don't need photographers, but like inspectors, people to help you, like loan brokers. So your best source of information is going to be an agent. And rather than finding somebody on the internet, if you know people who have bought a house in your area, talk to them and see if they recommend them. And if you get a glowing recommendation about somebody, like if you have people you like and trust who recommend their person, that they love this person, check them out. So much info. Like we went to her, we laid out what we wanted, we talked about what was going on. She helped us like even start coming up with a timeline for looking at houses. And it was hard for us to find our first house because we had our budget was tight and we needed to find certain things. And we lucked out finding this house and we had to renovate it and shit, but it all worked out. Here's the other thing, in case you didn't know this, at least in California. I know it's in California and in Colorado, they're my two experiences, but I think it's the same most places. When you get your agent, just know that the seller of the house, whoever, like when you are buying a house, you don't pay your agent. The agent gets paid by the sellers. It gets paid out of the profit that they make from selling the house. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have legal advice. That's just how it's been in both transactions that I've been a part of. All three, actually, now, because I bought one. And now this will be our second house we bought and our first house we've sold. How many lists have you made so far for the move? I don't even fucking know, man. So I've had people, like a friend of mine here, when can we have coffee before I leave? I'll talk to you soon. And I have other people like, when you're settled, can we have coffee? Yeah, of course. We'll figure it out once I get there. If you had to write a book about your moving experience, what would the title be? So long, nails. Like, nail-biting pain. Are you stuck with your current movers or can you change so that you can keep your stuff? We could change our movers if we wanted to. We don't really want to, though, and I'm actually fine with getting rid of more stuff. There might be a couple of hard choices to make, but for the most part, we're just getting rid of things that we would have probably gotten rid of anyway. How do I come to terms with the sudden changes? Not very well. Are we going to be neighbors? Maybe? Question mark? What sort of things are you planning to do prior to moving into your new place? Cleaning? Yeah, we'll probably clean or get a cleaner in the new place. We're going to get a cleaner for this one too as well for a move out clean. 1 to 10, how manages the stress? 1. Don't forget to, you guys, a lot of you are like, take care of yourself. Please breathe, blah, blah, blah. Doing my best, you guys. Doing my best. I also have one other thing to add for the things you're going to do in the house before you move in. Our house is pretty move-in ready. There's a couple of rooms we're going to do carpet when we move in, and there will be some painting done, but that's not going to happen until we've lived there for a little bit. A couple of rooms are going to get painted, but we're not going to do that till we've lived there and have seen the light and everything, because I know what happens when you try and pick paint colors and you have no idea like how the light hits a room. So there is that. The other thing we're going to want to do once we move in or close to is do some fall planting of flowers as well. There's a place in Colorado I found on the internet that will help you figure out what plants to put in the fall before the dormancy period so that in the spring they'll come up. And there's a couple of spots we'd like to do that with. But ultimately, the thing I'm excited about with this house, you guys ask what I'm excited about, aside from the kitchen and my office, is that because the house is in such good condition for move-in ready, we get to focus on decorating it. And in this house, we spent so much time, especially in the first year, of fixing it up that we didn't even think too much about that, and only as we were getting ready to sell it did we really decorate it. But this new house, we'll be able to take our time and decorate it and go furniture shopping. And that's another thing I'd like to know if you'd like to see. Do you want to come along with us? Kat wants some old-timey furniture for their bedroom. I'm going to be looking for some stuff for a bunch of rooms because it's a bigger house. House is 3 times bigger than our current house. Aside from the fact that we're getting rid of a bunch of stuff before we move, we're going to need some stuff to put in it, and I want to be thoughtful about it and pick some cute things and like actually decorate. I'm an artist. I'd like to decorate my house and like have it really feel awesome. So, and aside from Michael Myers and these pictures back here, we're not, and the fuckery flowers, there's not a lot of wall art that we're bringing with us. So decorating the house, shopping for furnitures and antiques and so on and so forth. If you want to see those things in videos, let me know as well. I've given you a lot to let me know in the comments below, but I really want to hear about it. Like, what kinds of stuff are you going to want to see once we move? Organizing, unpacking, decorating, those sorts of things. Are you interested in seeing those on the channel to go along with planning stuff, or is that something you might be tired of? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your questions. Thank you so much for all of your support. I think you're all great. Wish me luck, because when you're seeing this video, I will be in between closings. Hopefully this house will have closed, fingers crossed, and gone through smoothly. And then the closing on the house in Denver will be happening a couple days afterwards. So wish me luck. And until next time, friends, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace.